The Nittany Lions aced their first test of the season at West Virginia with a full allotment of talent on offense.
I don't know, it just feels like we're recruiting good. It feels like we're always getting studs in the positions.
Impressive debut for new coordinators Andy Kotelnicki and Tom Allen. The defense flashes speed and strength to keep the Mountaineers from running wild.
Went out there and did what we were supposed to do, everybody, from every level of the game. We made sure we had to, get the stops we needed to get.
And our impact interview is with former Penn State and NFL quarterback Matt McGloin. He vividly remembers riding up front on the team bus before his first PSU start.
This is it. Everything you've gone through, everything you went through, the process, the journey, the ups, downs, highs, lows, peaks, valleys led to this.
The Lions' domination in Morgantown leads us to a victory breakdown. This is Nittany Game Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nittany Game Week. I'm Todd Sadowski alongside former Nittany Lions coaches Jay Paterno and Tom Bradley. A challenging start to the season in Morgantown. Penn State aces the test with a 3-touchdown margin of victory.
Well, it's a great test because, only 3 Big Ten teams opened with a Power 5 team. They went on the road, they beat a Power 5 team, and after week 1, either you're a fan that thinks you're going all the way or your team's season's over. Well, Penn State fans are in that former category right now thanks to that win.
I don't think people realize it's been so long since we played in Morgantown. That's a tough place to play. People don't realize that's a great home field advantage. They went in and just took the crowd right out.
No doubt about it. Now, this is the fun part when things are new and we can show the plays and the reaction that lead to a solid win. The offense shows balance. The defense flashes speed. And the coaching staff is on top of the intangibles that can make a difference in our opening drive. Well, a lot of excitement and anticipation about new offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki. He has a lot of weapons at his disposal, and he makes sure to balance out the attack, Jay.
Well, I think the good thing is they threw the ball. We'll talk about the scouting report. They threw the ball well on first and second down, which is where they really made the hay in the pass game. And then the second half, they were able to run, take time off the clock, control the game.
Well, for a lot of veterans in those skilled positions, you have known commodities everywhere except wide receiver. So it's encouraging to see them have a huge impact in the opener.
It was great to see Trey, a guy that we've been talking about for a while, have a big game. Obviously, we want to try to get everybody involved in the run game, in the pass game, and all those things. But overall, I thought we did some really good things.
Being explosive is one of the most important statistics in the game, so it's just something that the receivers is what we're going to have to do consistently to go where we want to go this year.
In addition to Wallace, Omari Evans reels in a huge gain to set up the score right before halftime.
Tom Allen, new defense coordinator, comes from Indiana, where he was the head coach, obviously. Certainly, over the years, he's utilized his linebackers in the blitz schemes, did a lot of that, Tom, and they looked good and did some key things in the red zone.
I really like the way they lined up defensively, how they used the pieces that they had. They're going to be a tough team to beat defensively. They just got a lot of skill.
Tony Rojas, Jalen Reed, guys were really stopping the run game when it came to that and closing quickly at the end.
It's a very athletic group, and that's one of the things they're going to use, all that athleticism. It's going to be interesting to watch all the things they can do because they have a lot of guys that can do multiple things defensively that cause a lot of problems.
Well, a lot of the post-game talk surrounds the offense and explosive plays. The defense was motivated to make Coach Allen's first game a success.
Oh, great. I talked to Coach Allen before the game. I said, let's be calm and collected. It's his first game with us, and things can get a little riled up. But, I'd say we got you. We went out there and did what we were supposed to do, everybody, from every level of the game. We made sure we had to, get the stops we needed to get.
We took so many reps during fall camp that it became confidence, you know what I'm saying? So I think this year we coming in with a different type of confidence because we did it so much. So that's probably what led to it transferring to the game.
Solid debut for the defense. They now have 2 non-conference opponents to work against with Bowling Green and Kent State coming to Happy Valley. And for the coaches, you're not walking out on that field to play, but you can make a difference with preparation and taking care of some of the intangibles. Coach Franklin and his staff were well aware of the pending weather situation before the game even started. So here's the team walking off the field at halftime, and they knew it could be a long wait before coming back out, and they were ready to handle a unique situation.
Yeah, I think especially given the momentum of the score before the half, that was a great lift before they go in. Now you're going in with a 20-6 lead, so when you're in that locker room, it's not quite as long a wait, because you're excited to get back out there and put this thing away.
Yeah, the wait's easy when you're winning, you know, when you get it, that makes it nice. But still, you got to stay focused, and that's not an easy job sometimes because the younger players, they're not used to that. No one's really used to it, but they did a great job keeping them focused, came right back out, got after it.
And inconvenient to have such a long delay, but somewhat convenient. It does come at halftime. The players were well informed about the possibilities.
They really wanted us to relax, you know, take some pads off, cool down, hydrate, you know, get your body right. But then when it was time to go, they said it was time. Everybody strapping up, everybody locking in, the music blasting now. So Franklin did a great job handling that situation.
The coach said he learned a lot from the Michigan State game in 2017 when the Nittany Lions led 14-7 in the second quarter and the game was delayed for over 3 hours. Well, watching the tape from week one is like an early Christmas for football coaches. Jay and Tom detail what worked well and a few things to improve on in our roadmap to victory when Nittany Game Week returns.
Roadmap to Victory is sponsored by the R&R family of companies.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. You hear it all the time. Teams make their biggest improvement from week one to week two, which means coaches are like kids in a candy store, reviewing the tape from the season opener. Coach Bradley, Coach Paterno, well, they're here for a quick word about their non-conference opponent in the home opener, and then a deeper dive into the Nittany Lions' wild day in West Virginia.
Well, hopefully we make some improvement between week 1 and 2. But, you know, we're not going to hold our breath. Let's talk quickly about Bowling Green, because what we want to do today is talk a little bit about what coaches will do after a first game. But when you look at Bowling Green, they beat Georgia Tech last year. They had a close game with Minnesota in the bowl game. They got a running back, number 4, to keep an eye on. The quarterback, Basilak, number 7. Is a guy to keep an eye on, and they have a really good tight end. So they're going to get presented some things for Penn State to worry about on Saturday. But let's talk about what happened last Saturday, just as though we were in a meeting on Sunday morning. The offense looked a lot better. Did a great job on the first down, second down passing, third down, room for improvement. But we'll talk about something that happened in there that is a good sign for Penn State. As you look at the big play that everybody's talking about from the first half, it's 1st and 10, West Virginia's thinking run. They pull the guard, fake to the running back, they get the linebackers up, and they're able to get the guys in behind, Tom.
It's a terrible thing when that happens. But great for our offense, not so good for West Virginia's defense. But the play action was perfect. It's just a great call, and the pass was right on the money. And that's a play, I think, that broke the whole game completely open.
Yeah, it really set up a different tone. You can see from here as that guy comes out of there. Now, when we talk about the third down, they called 6 passes, only completed 1 for a first down. But they made 4 first downs, and how'd they do it? Well, when they're playing coverage and sitting on routes, and they're playing one-on-one or being aggressive, that now means somebody's not paying attention to the quarterback. And I think one of the big things that Penn State fans should be excited about is that Drew Aller has shown a propensity to run the ball for first downs. You take a look here, Tom. No one's open. He's downfield. He got a chance to run for it.
And they did not expect that from him, because now in future games, those defensive people, someone's going to be looking at that quarterback, making sure they keep, hey, rush lanes just aren't for cars. Lanes just aren't for cars, so it's going to get important.
You talk about the 2 quarterback setup, and here you got Aller out at wideout. You got Pabula playing quarterback and motion the running back. Now, these guys are all thinking run. So what do? They show them a run look. They get these guys up, and they hit the tight end. And that's important, Tom, as you know, when next week when people are saying, okay, the 2 quarterback thing's in, we just got to play the run. They can't now.
Now they can't. And now they have to sit there and waste time in their practice schedule. Hey, what can they do off of this? Oh, we're practicing, wasting plays, not maybe doing nothing that will ever even happen.
Week 1 takeaways for the defense. Talent level was better than West Virginia. Excellent in the red zone. 3 turnovers. They limited the quarterback run game, and really good tackling by the safeties.
Yeah, that's the thing I think that stood out the most to me was how well they tackled. Usually first games can be a little bit shaky with the tackling. I thought the tackling was excellent.
Now, when you talk about the week 1 concerns, pass rush, Abdul Carter just 1 tackle. Now, West Virginia's tackle is really good. This is not like some guy off the street that you face up with. It was a good guy he played against, so we'll see how that goes. The power run game for West Virginia gave them some problems, but again, lots of tackles by the safeties. You want to see linebackers making some of those tackles.
Yeah, you sure do.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's good that the safeties are up there. They're making those plays. They get paid to do that too.
Yep. Now, talk about red zone. Great in the red zone. 2 trips in there in the first half. 6 points total. We talked about Tom Allen likes to blitz linebackers. They bring people off the edge. But what a great job and effort here on this one, Tom, in the red zone.
Yeah, it's really good. I think people have to understand, just remember it takes 3 field goals to beat a touchdown. So sometimes in that red zone, giving up a field goal, not a bad thing.
Then when you talk about the game inside the game, this is where the game changed. Okay, before the half, you get a 2-minute timeout. They want everybody to call it 2-minute timeout, not the 2-minute warning. Clock management by West Virginia was not good, and that created a 14-point swing. And take a look at it. It's 3rd and 2 for West Virginia. 45 seconds and a half. They've got 2 timeouts left. Penn State only has 1. They throw an incomplete pass here, which lets Penn State hold on to time and the clock, and 13-6, and that enabled the last score before the half.
And that to me changed the whole game around.
Absolutely, because it's a big difference between 13-10 at half and 20-6, and then coming out and scoring. So that was really the swing of the game. Now, last thing we'll do, it's not Penn State. We're going to talk about Robert Morris, our producer, Ed Albert's school alma mater. Rob Carter Jr. with probably the best catch you'll see. Now, keep in mind, this is an interception. He wasn't supposed to get this ball. But, I mean, Tom, you used to coach that move all the time, right?
Yeah, we worked on that drill a lot, yeah.
Well, one guy I know that has no problem going right to left, especially when he's trying to drive the ball straight, is Todd Sadowski.
That is correct. And Ed is no longer big man on campus at Robert Morris. He has to scoot over and make some room for Rob Carter. All right, well, thank you, coaches. No matter who the opponent is, the home opener is always a special day. The Beaver Stadium renovation project is underway. Fans will notice some cosmetic and technology changes this season.
What I'd like you guys to see is just how efficient we're going to be in the building, in our concourses, new signage, a lot of components, new areas in Gate F. I think is going to be a great area for people. 4
new escalators, 2 each at Gates A and E, have been installed. Now keep in mind, they won't be operational until the 3rd home game versus Illinois on September 28th. Here are some other things to keep in mind for the upcoming season. The expanded upper concourse for Gates A and E comes with an increase in concession points of sale and bathrooms. The Gate F expansion adds a 34,000 square foot open air section, additional fan entry points, more concessions and ticketing scanning to increase the circulation there. Improved Wi-Fi on the concourses. That'll be a welcome thing. There's a new stadium network, PSU Fan, that replaces the previous AT&T Fan network. Other improvements include 80 new walk-up self-service non-alcoholic beverage units, and the stadium now winterized so it can host events in cold weather. That includes a potential college football playoff game in late December. And we want to remind everyone about the Francis Family Sensory Room, which debuted last season and is now available at all home games. It's a room to accommodate fans with sensory issues that may feel overwhelmed and overstimulated. We'll have much more on this unique concept and how it benefits the local community in the weeks ahead. Well, coming up, our Impact interview with former Penn State and NFL quarterback Matt McGloin, also dabbling in politics these days. Great perspective from the former QB of the Nittany Lions coming up.
Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. It is time for our Impact interview. This week's guest, well, he's a former Penn State and NFL quarterback that is now involved in his local community as a Lackawanna County Commissioner. Matt McGloin is from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and he joins us on the show. Matt, thanks so much for taking the time.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It's always, fantastic to be able to catch up with Scrap and Jay, and every time I have the opportunity to see these guys and to talk to these guys, the memories and the emotions that that get brought back are really incredible.
Matt also recently voted onto the Penn State Board of Trustees, and we're going to talk a lot of football with you, but this is our Impact interview. And after college, you created the Matt McGloin Fund, which gives in various ways to your hometown of Scranton. How much does it mean to impact your community in so many ways?
So I knew I always wanted to do something with the community throughout my whole life. And then in 2016, I sat down with the Scranton Area Foundation, and we were able to put together the Matt McGloin Fund. And we just actually had our 8th charity golf tournament this summer. We sold out, once again. And I think one of the great things that I get to have the opportunity to do at that tournament is see the people that have been there since year one, but there's more and more people coming through that door year in and year out, a lot of new faces. And, I like to think, and just a local foundation like mine, I think we've raised a pretty significant amount of money since 2016 to really address critical needs in Scranton, the greater Scranton area, and all throughout Northeast PA. For example, we've provided dental care services and oral health kits to more than 7,000 underprivileged youth, but obviously wouldn't be able to accomplish the things that we've accomplished without our community support. And again, being able to sell out the tournament once again this past year, it really shows that our message is getting out there year in and year out. So it's something I'm really proud of.
Matt, now that you're a county commissioner working with others in your local community, how much of the things that you learned playing team sports growing up and in college has come into play as you try to get things done now as a county commissioner?
Yeah, that's I don't think I was ever, you could ask me this 10 years ago. I don't think I would say that I was going to go the political route. Although I say I'm an elected official. That's the term that I like to use. But I think being a county commissioner, it allows me to be able to work on a daily basis with the people in our community. I think that's what's really special about that is you can make a direct impact on people's lives as a county commissioner each and every day. You have the opportunity to be able to change lives right here in your home on a daily basis. We're responsible for implementing operational policies, administering programs that deal with human services, public safety, economic development, recreation, quality of life. One of the great things I think that I learned from football and baseball, basketball growing up, playing at the collegiate level, playing at the professional level, is that you seek out those things that allow you to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And I think that's what I'm able to do now as a county commissioner.
Let's talk a little football. During your playing career at Penn State as the starting quarterback, you got to sit across from Joe and be the first guy off the bus at every home game. What was that bus ride like, and what did that mean to you?
It's a great question. I tell the story. The day I got the scholarship from Joe, and it was at the end of one of our practices during training camp. So it would have been August of 2009. He said, "I need to see McGloin." and I didn't even know if he knew who I was. Am I in trouble? So I go up to him. I say, "Coach, you needed to see me." He goes, "We're going to put you on scholarship." And then he just walked away like it was nothing. And then I think the older that I get, I look back on that and I think to myself, I think he approached it that way because he knew what to expect, that was nothing, that he demanded a lot more out of me moving forward. And so I kind of, from that, from walking on campus to that point, I just never lost sight of the things I wanted to be able to do and the things that I wanted to be able to accomplish, and being that first one off the bus for me, it was a whiteout game against Michigan. I remember standing outside the Lash facility looking over, because you know how you can see Beaver Stadium from the locker room. I remember looking at Beaver Stadium. I could hear people screaming already. I could see the lights. And I remember just taking deep breaths and thinking, this is it. Everything you've gone through, everything you went through, the process, the journey, the ups, downs, highs, lows, peaks, valleys, it's led to this. And then you board that bus and, the doors open, you walk out and the whole place erupts. And it's just like, holy, you don't know whether to smile, laugh, cry. Scrap, to really answer your question, there won't be many moments that'll match what it feels like when your feet hit the ground on that last step, when you're the first one off that blue bus. It's an elite company And I'm happy Joe really gave me that chance.
Really appreciate Matt taking the time to speak with us. We're going to step aside from the TV show for a quick break. We have much more from our interview with Matt online, so make sure you go to NittanyGameWeek.com for the entire conversation, along with other web-exclusive content like our depth chart and Nittany Game Week podcast. All right, up next, he's a game changer and a tone setter, and now he's the winner of our prestigious Scrap Medal Award. Tom tells us why he chooses from the defensive side of the ball for this week's honor when we come back. We're heading into the final minutes of Nittany Game Week.
The Nittany Game Week Depth Chart is brought to you by Burke and Bradley Orthopedics. Located in Pittsburgh, Burke and Bradley Orthopedics is a comprehensive sports medicine practice, providing patients with the most current and innovative approaches in diagnosis and treatment. Scrap Metal is sponsored by the We Are Inn, voted #1 game day restaurant in Center County. Follow us on Facebook and visit thewearein.com or call for dinner or room reservations.
Well, of course, he's a little biased towards the defensive side of the ball, but Scrap says that's not why he's going with safety Jalen Reed for this week's Scrap Medal Award.
He's from Detroit, Michigan, 6 foot, 209-pound senior safety. What a day. 9 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a fumble recovery. He set the tone early with his speed.
And Jay, you're feeling generous once again this week with our trivia question. Take it away.
Last week's question was about which former Penn State player was on the Love Boat. The answer was Rosie Greer. We had to pick one winner because we got a lot of answers. Kim Badman from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, will be getting a copy of the book Blitzed, which is out this weekend. Now let's talk about this week's trivia question. Our guest on the Impact interview was Matt McGloin. Matt McGloin started in the NFL and college, but which NFL stadium did he make his first? Which of those NFL stadiums was the first NFL stadium he started the game in?
Make sure you check out our depth chart at NittanyGameWeek.com. The depth chart, a collection of businesses that support the show and provide our viewers with places to eat, travel and shop, or professional services owned and operated by people with a special connection to Penn State. College football is back. We have a lot to share with you beyond our weekly TV program. Make sure to check out NittanyGameWeek.com for web-exclusive content. We always say goodbye with some pride picks. Had plenty of submissions from Morgantown. Make sure you send us your tailgating and family picks at Penn State on our website. For Jay and Todd, I'm Todd. Thanks so much for watching Nittany Game Week. We'll see you next time.